Okay, so let's unpack this. It's June 3rd, 2025,
Right.
and today's market action, based on this Grok Trade summary we're looking at, it kind of felt like a classic pivot day, didn't it?
Totally. You saw that early strength.
Yeah, stocks opened with momentum, building on yesterday's action, but, that enthusiasm just faded pretty fast.
It really did. By the major indices, they'd given back those gains, finished lower.
Hmm.
And what's really telling in the source material, I think, is just how quickly that happened, how that strength vanished.
Yeah.
It highlights a market that's grappling with mixed signals, which is something we've definitely been seeing lately.
I have.
That initial rally, especially in tech, tied to yields falling early on,
Yeah.
it just couldn't hold through the session.
Absolutely. So our goal today really is to dive deep into this summary, pull out the critical levels, the economic cues.
The different moves across stocks, crypto, metals.
Yeah. Exactly. Figure out what really defined today and maybe what it tells us going forward. This volatility, it feels like a direct follow-on from the choppy conditions we talked about, right?
It does. And navigating days like this, where the whole story seems to shift midday,
Yeah.
it just really shows why having a clear framework for reading price action is so crucial. It's less about predicting
Right.
and more about just reacting to what the market's actually doing at those key spots.
Well said. Okay, specifics from the source. S&P 500 down 0.5%. NASDAQ dropped more, 0.75%. Dow slipped 0.23%. But here's what jumped out at me.
The Russell.
Yeah, the Russell 2000, the small caps, it managed to finish basically flat.
And not just flat, right.
Okay.
The source points out it finished right at that key $210 level, $210 being, well, a major hurdle for small caps. They've been kind of stuck below it.
Mm-hmm. Basing below there.
So the fact it held there today, even while the big guys pulled back,
Yeah.
that's pretty significant. Makes you wonder.
Is it support now or just bulls hitting their heads against that resistance again? What's your take?
It feels like a battleground, like you said. If $210 holds becomes support, that could signal some underlying strength, maybe. Something we're not seeing in big tech.
But if it cracks?
If it cracks, yeah, it confirms resistance is still king there. It ties right back to needing that conviction break we talked about yesterday for small caps to really move higher.
And speaking of conviction, or maybe the lack of it, the VIX jumped nearly 5% today.
Oof. Yeah, that's a clear sign of anxiety picking up into the close.
Carefully.
And if you connect the dots, the source points to a few things. Yields dipping early help tech, sure, but the market's already looking ahead.
Friday's jobs report.
Exactly. Everyone's trying to guess the Fed's next move. Adds tension.
Plus, the source mentioned external stuff too, like tariffs hitting automakers, maybe adding to that late day sell-off.
Right. It shows how all these different factors can kind of pile on and shift sentiment fast.
Yeah.
It really does. So many moving parts. Okay, shifting gears slightly. The source also hit on alternatives. Bitcoin had a pretty rough day, down 3.7%.
Yeah, and what's interesting there is how it fell. We were watching that bull flag pattern, right? Mentioned a breakdown could lead to a quick drop.
Yep.
And, well, today's sell-off, after it tested that lower boundary, it just proves, again, textbook patterns are guides, not guarantees.
Definitely not guarantees.
You got to have a plan B if they don't work out. Key lesson there, something folks in the mentorship know we stress.
Not the breakout crypto bulls wanted, for sure.
Yeah.
Precious metals were split. Gold dipped a bit, like 0.5%.
Gold's still just consolidating in that ascending triangle we pointed out.
Right, yeah.
Holding its structure, kind of waiting patiently, much calmer than Bitcoin.
But silver surged.
Yeah.
That was the standout. Up, 3.54%?
That was the clean move of the day in the source material, yeah. Gapped up, closed convincingly over that $1.80 resistance.
The level we've been tracking for weeks. Exactly. That breakout really fits with the potential we saw building as it got tight around the moving averages. Looks like real buying interest stepping in above that key level.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Looking back at the day, major indices down. Caught between that early hope and late-day jitters about data, tariffs.
Right, and the VIX jump showing that caution.
But critically, those divergences. Small caps holding firm at that $210 battleground. Silver breaking out big time above $31.80 after weeks.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin's pattern failed. Sharp pullback. Gold's still waiting.
So the key takeaways, it's really about these mixed signals, isn't it? Market's not moving as one block.
Definitely not. And
Yeah.
tracking those specific levels, like silver's $31.80, Russell's $210, it's crucial on days like this with so much conflicting stuff happening.
Yeah, navigating these kinds of days where assets tell different stories and patterns don't always play nice. It really hammers home the value of being disciplined, managing risk. core stuff.
It's not about being right all the time.
It's about understanding what the market's doing and having that plan.
Absolutely. Execution, risk management based on the data. Paramount.
So here's something to chew on. A final thought for you listening. With key levels holding for some things like the Russell, breaking for others like silver, and big economic data dropping later this week, what single piece of today's price action tells you the most about where the market might head next?